What is up, everybody? Been a while. December 23rd. You heard that right. December 23rd in Ohio. It is 62 degrees here in the great state of Ohio. And that means one thing. I'm off work. And I'm gonna go try to catch fish. I'm leaving my boat at home. I'm gonna go out and try to catch one at the Greenup Dam. Pretty turbulent water. Usually a pretty good chance to catch a bass, smallmouth, largemouth, stripers, hybrids, but I'm actually after some sauger. I'm taking one rod, one reel. That is the new Vanford with the medium heavy Poison Adrena that I just picked up. I want to put it through its paces. I'm going to strap on the chesty, see if we catch something. If not, I'm going to put the rod through its paces. So let's get it. Disclaimer, I don't catch a fish on this episode of On the Line. I'm always trying to post only videos where I catch fish. Let me know in the comments below if you want to see videos where I don't catch fish. Guys, it's called fishing and not catching. There's always times where I go, I don't catch fish. I don't ever post them. Matter of fact, this is the first video I think I've ever posted on fishing that I didn't catch a fish. Or we didn't catch a fish of some sort. So let me know in the comments below. I do want to give you a shout out or let you know that there's no fish catches in this episode of On the Line. But let me know in the comments below whether you like to see videos like this, whether I catch fish or not. So we're still learning, we're still fishing. Let's get into it. A little dam fishing at the Greenup Dam. So again, I got the old Poison Adrena with the new Vanford. This is really the first time I've had it out. I fished it at St. Clair, but the fishing was terrible up there when we were there. I didn't really get a chance to try her out. So again, just have a little 1/4 ounce lead head tied on here. I'm gonna try a Jackal swim bait to start with, then move in maybe to a white grub. I usually like this pretty well down here. There's a boat down here on the point. Usually down there is where the better fishing happens, but see if I can get down here without killing myself. Again, I just brought a couple baits. Come down and try to see what I can do here with the at the Greenup Dam here. This is obviously the Ohio River. I fully expect to lose a bunch of these lead heads. They're really cheap. Picked them up at the tackle box. If you're down here fishing around the river and stuff like this, be very careful. These rocks get super slick. Water's kind of dingy, kind of muddy. But again, actually I thought this was a Jackal, but this is not. This is a Keitech Swing Impact 2.5 or 2.8 inch. But water is a little dingy. I may have to go with a white grub or white twister tail. But again, just a small 1/4 ounce jig head here. I'm gonna rig this thing just like I would any other time. There we go. Yeah, you can see this pretty well. Again, I fully expect to lose a bunch of these today because first off, this is all a big rock pile in here. Yep, first cast. Snagged up. I stopped to check my drag there and got hung up. So you definitely want to keep reeling in a situation like this. Back up here where I can see. So you can tell there's this is some roller locks here. Looks like I got a lot of them open. The river is up, it's up way higher than it normally is. You can see down there is a walkway that's underwater. That's usually a pretty good spot to fish down on that walkway, but it's up about probably 3 feet from normal. Water clarity is not terrible, but it's not phenomenal either. This swim bait that I'm using may be a little too subtle. We'll give her a few more casts and go into something that's a little more bright. I have a couple just different colors of grubs. I would imagine the water temperature is probably in the high 30s. So usually the fish that you see up in here in this water column where it's real turbid are usually up here feeding, so you don't have to worry about reeling stuff too fast usually. I'm not ripping it by any means. I will say though, the long stroke spool on this Vanford makes a huge difference in the castability and the as far as your, the length of the cast that you can make with this reel. I have it spooled up with 15-pound test, Super Slick V2 Power Pro, again 15-pound test in Onyx. I like it a lot. I normally fish 30-pound test. A lot of people always ask me why I do that. I just like the way it flows out of my reel a little better. 30-pound test. I'm not fishing really deep usually anyway, so it's not like I'm trying to hold a bunch of line on my rod. But I will tell you, this 15-pound Power Pro Super Slick V2 on this Vanford with the long stroke spool makes a huge difference. I can definitely tell you can cast farther every time I cast this thing. It's very effortless also. Alright, one more cast with the swim bait. I'll swap out for something a little more vibrant, something they can see a little better. Again, I don't know if you could tell, you can see those rocks. It's about a foot of visibility, maybe a foot and a half. But the fish, again, up in this turbulent water are going to be sight feeders. They're going to be up in here looking for something to eat. And the reason they're up in here, again, is because, the bait fish are coming up here around this turbulent water. And if you can find an eddy of some sort, you can usually catch the fish. And you can notice here, it's real turbulent out through here, but you can actually see a real small line of water going out through here. And right in this area right here, it's pretty calm. So those fish are going to be up in here trying to ambush bait fish coming down that turbulent water, or that turbulent water. Bait switch, again, something a little more vibrant. This is a smaller grub. I got a little bit longer ones in there. Give them something they can see here. Again, this is nothing more than just a U-tail grub. Yeah, you can definitely see that one better. Probably going to instantly regret this decision, but I let it sink farther than I have so far. Feeling this one either. Let's go to the old tried and true white. I know they'll eat a white grub. All fish will eat something white. Looks like it's got yellow, black, and white. But this one, to be honest with you, has had something in it that's turned most of them pink. That's one thing a lot of people don't know, is if you have baits put together that are different colors, they will bleed together and you'll create some kind of crazy rainbow pattern that you either really like or you really don't. So right now, and again guys, this is just nothing more than a 1/4 ounce lead head from the tackle box, just a standard board do it mold, probably a 1/0 hook I'd imagine, just a white twister tail. Tried a swim bait. I think the swim bait was a little too clear for them. You couldn't see it as well. Threw that orange one for a minute, wasn't really feeling it. I feel like this white one is going to match the hatch better. I saw a shad floating around here about that long, so if they're up eating shad, this thing ought to be ringing the dinner bell for them. Hung up. Had me all excited there for a second. Again, this is why you don't want to come down here throwing a bunch of really high-end stuff, because you're going to lose it. All right, we're not killing them by any means. Haven't caught anything, but I'll show you the rig here. Quarter ounce lead head. Tie it on with your favorite knot. I'm going to use the improved clinch knot for this application just because it's quick, and I know I will probably lose this thing again. The white grub, what I'm throwing right now. And again, these things have turned pink for some reason. There's something that's got in this bag that's caused them to bleed over. There it is. What's on the menu today? See if they're hungry. Got a substantial front coming in, cold front. It's about, again, 62 degrees right now. We're supposed to get upwards of 5 to 7 inches of snow starting tomorrow around noon or so. So it's gonna be tougher to catch fish, you know, in this area of this front. But again, December 23rd, a good day, a bad day fish is better than a good day at work. So we're gonna go with that mentality. Let it sink too far that time. That's another thing about fishing down here. If you aren't careful, you can lose a ton of line because you get snagged, you know, 100 yards off the bank here, and you're on a rock usually, so it takes a little finagling to get it off. Broke it off with my leader, which is all right. I wouldn't bass fish without a leader, but down there on the Ohio, as turbid as this water is, it's not going to matter. Tried everything that I have in my pocket except yellow and black. Yellow might be the ticket because it is very overcast. The Salgren stuff that I'm after today are usually sight feeders, again, as I said a minute ago, so it's really really might be a good deal here. I just had a bite on a white one. First bite I've had since I've been here. But try to keep this thing up off the bottom now. See, normally there's a walkway that comes right out through here. It's a big concrete pad, and then there's a big like half circle thing here that holds the bank in. It's creating this little eddy here. Thought it might be a pretty good deal to cast up in here, but I think the water's moving a little bit too quick for them up in here, especially for as cold as the water is. Water is frigid cold. I don't know exactly how cold it is. Obviously I'm not in my boat, but let's go back to that white one. It's the only thing I had a hit on a second ago. It felt like a striper or a white bass or something, but I'll take it at this point. Try to use this current to help me out. I'm gonna have it come back and try to come across this point here. It's gonna be tough because the way that point comes out through there, if you don't keep it up off the bottom, you're going to definitely get snagged. Did exactly what I wanted it to right there. Again, one of the things that the deck is kind of stacked against me here because we have a huge cold front coming in tomorrow, and usually fish pre-frontal like this are tough to catch, especially in the wintertime. We're supposed to get upwards, like I said a minute ago, up to 6 inches of snow tomorrow. It's 63 degrees right now, or it was. It's dropped off into the 50s for sure, but anytime you can get out on the water, make a few casts, it's definitely a good thing. You always have a chance to lean on them if you're out here. I always struggle whether I should post videos like this or not. We're still learning, we're still fishing, but up until this point I've not caught a single fish. But I knew going in that the deck was stacked against me. And another thing is, I wanted to get this Poison Adrena out with the new Vanford and try it out. I had it out in St. Clair there I guess it's been about a month ago, and I really love it. The Vanford, you know, I was very skeptical that they could actually make the CI4, the Stradic CI4 any better. But I will tell you that the long stroke spool, this thing has Micro Module 2 gearing in it, which is the same as the Stella. The Stradic FL has it as well. Shimano is a trickle down company, so all the higher end stuff eventually trickles down into the lower end model. You know, this is a $220 price point reel, and I love it. I have a 3000 series on the way, but this is the only one that the tackle box got 4 of them, and I ended up with 1 of them. It's a really phenomenal reel. Paired with this Poison Adrena, this is a 611 medium heavy. And when I very first got this rod, I was really weary that this thing had too much backbone and there wasn't going to be enough tip for any kind of finesse technique or any kind of finesse application. And that's just not the case, especially when you get down in here and stuff like this. You know, you're doing finesse techniques, but you need a little bit more backbone to get it in and out of the rocks. And, you know, like I said, you have the potential to catch a, you know, 25, 30 pound striper down here, and you're not going to want to hook into that thing with a medium light or even a medium, in my opinion. The 611 medium heavy does, it kind of will trick you if you just think about it, or you grab it in the store and you bend it on the floor or whatever, like we always do as anglers. But again, I feel like, especially in an application like this where I'm throwing a 1/4 ounce with a lot of current, I can see throwing a big tube on this thing, even a small jig. But I can definitely tell when this thing gets down on the rocks, because it is so sensitive, especially with that braid on there and the rod, obviously. $350 price point for the Poison Adrena, $229 for the Vanford. But I was just really excited to get out and try it out. Again, I always struggle. Do I post videos like this? I don't know. It's you know, I'd like to hear from you guys. If you guys could let me know what you think. Zero fish catches, are they still videos that you want to watch? Or heck no, Waller, on other lines about smashing fish, and that's all I want to see. Let me know in the comments below if you would. But you know, December 23rd, 2020, this year's been crap up until this point right now. So we are getting out here obviously a couple days before Christmas, trying to catch one. I'm gonna make 2 more casts here, because you can't just make one last cast. You know how that goes. I'll make 2 casts here, and then I'm gonna go put this thing up and see what my ride home brings. Listen to some music. Kyle's on his way down for family, and so we're gonna hang out and grab some food tonight. But again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. You guys want to see you know, videos that I don't catch fish in, because, you know, guys, that's why they call it fishing and not catching. Sometimes you're going to go out and you're not going to catch them. That's just the way it is. But again, you can't lean on them unless you're out there. And today, being December in Ohio, I got out here for a while, and that's all that matters. So I got 1 more cast here. Maybe I will get lucky on the last cast and smoke one, but it ain't looking good.